Yeah, it was a direct response to the passing of the anti-homosexuality bill in Parliament.
Yes, first with the bill before it
Yeah,
became an act.
before it became the law, because they had used a lot of propaganda, lies, and demonization of the queer community. And
Uh-huh.
yet there was no counter to that,
Yes.
to tell the general public that this is not true. And so I decided that I start this show in the local language
Yes.
that can actually reach a lot of people in Uganda. This was not really a message to the legislators or anybody, but I personally care about the communities in which we live. If they have the truths about us and can see our humanity and, see more of us than what they've been told, our sexualized lives,
Uh-huh.
that this could be a helpful thing, which I have seen with engagement of some straight people in the comment sections.
So there
That
are straight people actually attending this.
Yes, and that is also what I have taken to TikTok,
Okay.
because most people actually find it easier to watch videos from TikTok. They take less data, and small videos can be cut out to and sent around back at home by
Uh-huh.
whoever found it. So on TikTok, I do a live show,
Okay.
still in the same manner, but then afterwards I cut out the highlights of messages that I would like to reach our local population,
Okay.
uh, so
Okay.
that we debunk the lies about our gender identities and expressions, and also sexual orientation.
Mm-hmm.
That is why it was named in Uganda
Yes.
Echimeza Chabasiazi, and in brackets I put the queer table talk,
Yeah. Okay.
as part of the programming of the Victor Mukasa Show, which is a more general thing for Africa and basically for queer Africa, both on the continent but also in the diaspora.
Okay. Okay.
Because many times we are also dealing with issues in terms of challenges faced by queer immigrants in North America, especially Canada and the US, sharing of information for integration. It also deals with the other issues on the continent, including refugee issues. And that's why on the Victor Mukasa Show we brought emerging issues like in Ghana, Malawi.
It's
Uh,
wider. It is.
yeah, when things emerge, we bring them on. But the plan for the Victor Mukasa Show is not just about the emerging issues on the continent. It is featuring everything queer and African, ranging from the education, the activism, the arts, politics, if there are any who are involved in politics. So our social lives, storytelling, uh, everything queer and African that is relevant to the advancement of the movement.
Yes, because I saw you had in the Pride Month, you had like topics just on about what is Pride about. I think in
Yes.
March you had also Jide Macaulay about religion. So
Yes,
yeah.
at some point we had Jide Macaulay.
Uh-huh.
The plan is so huge, Liesl. It's just that it requires resources and some people to get on board. But
Exactly.
and the vision that I have, actually, what I see, if it had resources, I see a lot. It is a source of information for so many people, not only the queer Africans themselves, but for all our allies, for local communities, for legislators, for human rights organizations. It's a meeting place for all these people. What you need, we got it. We know who to connect you to. We know who is the source of the information that we provided. Um, I have a big vision for it.
And tell me about the Victor Mukasa show. When can you remember what year you started that?
2020. It was
Okay,
in March.
March 2020.
Yeah.
And Because I tried
And
to
it
get.
started off with a podcast, weekly podcast on Anchor and Spotify.
Okay.
That's where it started from. But later on, I extended it to Facebook and YouTube.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
And so that is the one with like a very general aim, and the table talk is the one with the aim actually specific to Ugandans, kind of like countering all the
Yes.
hate and the propaganda. Okay.
Yes.
Let's.
And we still have, I mean, in my vision, I see certain moments if something big is happening in Ghana, for example, or Djibouti, that we have people in Djibouti even addressing their countrymen and women and others in the local languages that they speak, but also at the level that they understand. So what we do on the Queer Table Talk, we don't talk United Nations declarations. No, we talk at the level of our communities. The lady who sells food on the street, the border guy who rides the motorbike taxi. We speak at that level so that people actually begin to to understand us and see that we are at their level, and the only thing that has separated us is actually the lies that they have been told. And this really works, because I want to take a video of the comments on TikTok recently. They are so amazing, where we talk about, where I there are moments I talk about, say, the left. I'm talking about, I cannot believe that I got that wisdom that is not science, but it helped me to explain what science means, uh, especially when it comes to trans people.
Okay.
And because they are saying, but God did not do this, God did not do that, God did not do this. And then, I'm explaining in the local language. And I'm saying, when you say that Adam and Eve were Adam and Eve and not Adam and Steve and whatever, but also Adam and Eve were created perfect. They did not have a sixth finger. Today we have people born with a sixth finger. They were not created. They don't show us that they had one ear. Today we have children who come out with one ear. They were not conjoined twins. Today we have them. They didn't tell us that they were Pantagonians. Today we have people with big feet and small feet. And we have left-handed people, right-handed people. So there's a lot of variation in creation in our parents' wombs during creation. And does that mean that anything where variations contributed to change in the way things are from what you were told is perfect, do we call all that illegal? And
Exactly. Can you
explaining
wipe
this
out
in the
all that?
local language is very, very interesting and very big. And, we are talking about the demonization of people with flat feet in Uganda,
Or people that are born blind, or people
Yeah.
that there's so
The
many other.
demonization of albinos,
Yes. I mean,
Uh,
it's like a witch hunt.
exactly. And I say, this is what you are doing today. But that is not okay. Look at me. I'm leaving what you do in the bedroom to yourself. Leave what I do in the bedroom to myself. How has been my contribution to the political struggle in Uganda? And then they're like, yeah, we know you founded the Ichoto platform, because I've contributed a lot to the political struggle of the People Power movement. And I'm like, why don't you just look at me that way?
Exactly.
So the conversations there are really, really interesting. It's just that donors today are not really listening to all players in the struggle. And also they are playing certain tunes that people have to dance to. The parliament will change. Even now, if Frank Mugisha and group win what we have in the Supreme Court, it is not going to change what is happening down in the suburbs and in the ghetto and in the villages. It will never change it if we do not speak a language that our people understand. So I really believe in it, that if I had my own resources, I would fund it myself big time and not expect.
Definitely.
Yeah. And a lot of people are coming out also because of the TikTok. You should see many people are coming out. They are saying, I thought I was sick. I thought I was a demon. I thought I was this. Victor, you have helped us. This is not only for the straight people, it's also for us to understand that we are okay. We are. And I think that the messages from the queer community itself, or who are hiding, are more energizing to me.